Okay.
And I was talking to one of my uncles back home, and I think my aunt told him that we combine prayers. And he says like the Prophet, when it was cold or rainy or snow, he just never like went to the masjid. He just prayed at home. He never like combined and stuff.
He did combine, but there's no narrations that say because of the cold weather. Usually the Prophet of Allah combined for two reasons, or three reasons. One, he traveled. Two, it rained. And three, to show there's no difficulty in the religion. But as far as the weather, the cold weather, many of the ulama of Al-Islam, they use the qiyas, the analytical thinking, when they pit it with the rain. If the Prophet combined for the rain, and if it's extremely cold, they make the same deduction. But there's no narration that the Prophet combined because of the snow or the wind or like that. Like the same thing with the khufs and the regular socks. Some people say it was no khufs back then. Some people say it was khufs back then. Was other socks back then. But the leather socks was prominent. Other scholars say no, it was only the leather socks. At any rate, so they make the qiyas. They say, well, since the Prophet wiped over the leather socks, today we have cotton socks. So they make the analytical deduction from that. But he's right, there's no narration that says he combined for the wind, he combined for the snow. But the combining is going to be the rain, traveling, and to show there's no difficulty in the religion. One time the Prophet of Allah just combined, and Ibn Umar said it wasn't raining, nor was he traveling. The Prophet got done and said, صَنَعْتُ هَذَا لِتَعْلَمُوا لَا حَرَجَ فِي الدِّينِ. He said, I did that. I combined the prayer so you will know there's no difficulty in the religion. If you have to combine, you have to. Say you're at work sometimes, or the weather, for example, you're allowed to combine. If it's a hardship on you, in these colleges.
So, what if people use that, like you said, for work? What if people use that and they don't have to?
Now the thing is that people sometimes can take an authentic statement, but misuse it. Now if this is your situation every day, that's different. But just say you're extremely busy at work, just one time, two times. So,
like for example, even like one break.
One break. And if I wait, by the time I get home, it's done. And this is the only time I have. Then inshallah, you can fall under that narration. Inshallah. Some breaks are gonna give you 15 minutes. 15 minutes, by the time you go to the hammam, you make your wudu, you drink your little tea, you gotta get back on the floor.
I didn't know that. Like, even though when it's time I bring it, used to sneak out.
So I'm the same way. I say if they're gonna let me go, it's gonna be for something religious.
So then I'm going to the bathroom.
Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you, ikhwan. You try your best for Allah. So what I would say to your uncle, then he said that the Prophet would stay home and pray. Remember, the Prophet's house was connected to the masjid. So usually the Prophet prayed in the masjid, usually. At any rate, there's some instances that they said the Prophet didn't come out. Some he was really sick. He prayed in, it looks like he prayed in. But you are allowed to combine in certain situations.
Or is there like a hadith or narration?
Now the hadith as far as the one we mentioned that he just did it to do it, the one about raining, Hadith ibn Umar, the one about traveling, Hadith ibn Umar, that the Prophet combined when it was raining. Now the scholars do differ. That's how technical the scholars are. Some say you only can combine Dhuhr and Asr, because when the Prophet did it, it was in the daytime. Other scholars say, no, you can do Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib and Isha. But it wasn't Maghrib and Isha, that's why the Prophet didn't do it. It was Dhuhr and Asr. So some say that's all you can do. That's all he did, that's all you can do. So there's some are real strict. At any rate, from the qiyas, if it's raining at Maghrib and Isha, and it's, like sometimes we do it here, I may differ. I may pray to keep the jama'ah, but sometimes it's light and we still combine. I don't believe that's to be sufficient. But if I'm in a community that they do it, I'm gonna do it to keep the people together. But I wouldn't pray unless it's hardship. If the rain is drizzling, we don't have to, there's no reason. But if it's hard, that's different. You see it many times, the scholars may differ. A lot of times they differ on two things: the understanding of the hadith, and the second one, the authenticity of the hadith. Now, we learned last night what a Sa'di, he has a position, but there's no proof to support his point. He says the blood, if it's a lot of blood, then this invalidates the wudu. However, many of the ulama al-fiqh, they say there's no proof of it. So sometimes the scholars may differ one another. That happens, yeah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو على ما من به علينا من النعم الكثيرة الظاهرة والباطنة وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد, by the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. All praise belongs to Allah, the one that there's none that has the right to be worshipped except Him, who has bestowed upon us blessings that are numerous, blessings that are in abundance, those blessings that are outward and inward, those blessings that are outward and inward. And I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, who's alone, without having any partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is his servant and his messenger. To proceed, ya ikhwan, amma ba'd, فنرحب بكم جميعا إلى هذه السلسلة العلمية. So we welcome each and every one of you to this series of classes حيث ندرس شيئا من أحاديث النبي صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم. Whereas we're learning from the hadith of the Messenger of Allah عليه الصلاة والسلام عليه الصلاة والسلام. فاليوم يوم المراجعة أو يوم الحفظ. Tonight is our review night or our new hadith. Review. طيب أين وصلنا? Where do we arrive يا إخوان? 14. طيب من قال هذا? Who used to say this يا إخوان? أحب الصالحين ولست منهم وأبغض الطالعين وأنا الشر منهم. Who used to say this? I love the righteous, although I don't consider myself from amongst them. And I don't like the sinners, although I'm the worst from amongst them. Al-Shafi, he has one similar. We'll say his next, inshallah. Imam Ahmed, not Ahmed. Who said that, Ikhwan? Abdullah al-Mubarak. Abdullah ibn Mubarak. أحب الصالحين ولست منهم وأبغض الطالعين وأنا الشر منهم. He said, I love the righteous, although I don't consider myself from them, and I dislike the sinful, although I'm the worst from them. May Allah make it easy. الذي يعجبنا يا إخوان ليس القول لكن مصدر هذا القول. The thing that humbles us is not the speech. That speech is tremendous. But the thing that humbles you is who's saying it. هو من أحسن الناس. He's from the best of the people. لكن في نظره هو لنفسه هو ليس من الصالحين. But in his own estimation, he does not consider himself to be from the righteous. فلا يعلمك شخص أحسن مما تعلم نفسك. Nobody knows you more than how you know yourself. فمن قال هذا, who used to say this? أحب الصالحين ولست منهم عسى أن أحب الصالحين ولست منهم لعلي أن أنال بهم الشفاعة وأكره من تجارته معاصي ولو كنا سواء في البضاعة. He used to say, I love the righteous, although I don't consider myself from amongst them. وأحب الصالحين ولست منهم لعلي, that perhaps by way of them I will receive intercession by me loving them. Allah will intercede for me on their behalf. And I hate those that their business is sin. They commit sins. وَلَوْ كُنَّا سَوَاءً فِي الْبِضَاعَةِ. Although they have sins and I have sins also. من قالها؟ الشافعي. Accent. طيب من يريد أن. Where do we arrive already at? Hadith number 14. For our sisters. May Allah bless you all. طيب من يريد أن يقرأ الحديث الرابع العشر. Who wants to recite Hadith number 14 first? تفضل شيخ عمر.
عن أبي مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا في ثلاث: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه والمخالف للجماعة.
ما شاء الله. رواه البخاري ومسلم. أحسنت. ومن أيضا. Anyone else? Our second reciter. تفضل.
عن أبي مسعود. Is it أبي or ابني؟
ابني.
عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى ثلاثة: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه المفارق للجماعة. رواه البخاري ومسلم.
ما شاء الله. أحسنت. شيخ وهاب تفضل.
عن ابي مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم يشهد إلا بثلاث: الثيب زاني والنفس بالنفس والفارق لدينه
التارك
لدينه للجماعة
المفارق
للجماعة.
أحسنت.
متفق عليه.
ما شاء الله. تفضل يا شيخ.
عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى ثلاث: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه المفارق للجماعة. رواه البخاري ومسلم.
ما شاء الله. أحسنت. بارك الله فيكم يا إخوان. كل يوم حبي إياكم يزداد. الحمد لله. Every day I see you brothers and sisters. Our love for you all increases. May Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. May Allah bless you all. Even our beloved little baby girl, what's her name, ya ikhwan? One of the most pleasant baby girls you're going to meet. Maida. حفظها الله. May Allah reward Maida. كل يوم هي تسألني عن دراجة. Every day she says, hey, did you get my bike? I say, أنا ما نسيتك. I didn't forget you yet. لكن ما حصلت عليها. I said, I just didn't get a bike yet. In the summer, we used to buy bikes online for the kids, and I would fix them up. وصلحها وأعطيهن إياها, and I would give the bikes to the kids. يا إخوان. حتى عندنا في البيت الأولاد كل يوم يوصلون دراجاتهم إلينا إن شاء الله تعالى إصلاحا. Every day when we fix some of the bikes, they will come, hey, يا أخي, can you fix my bike? Next day, hey, Assalamu alaikum, hey, I got a flat. How did I become the maintenance man of the bikes? I said, we try our best, bring the bikes. One of the boys, wrote him, كتب رسالة. He wrote a letter one day and put it on the door. Assalamu alaikum, you wasn't here when I came. My bike has a flat. Alhamdulillah. We try our best. So every day, man, after class, hey, Assalamu alaikum, you got my bike? So I didn't forget you, man. I just didn't find one yet. As soon as I find one, I got you. May Allah bless you. طيب ريان تفضل.
عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى الثلاثة: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدين المفارق للجماعة. رواه البخاري ومسلم.
ما شاء الله. أحسنت. طيب تفضل عسى.
عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم إلا بإحدى ثلاثة: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه المفارق للجماعة. رواه البخاري ومسلم.
أحسنت. عند أخواتنا وبناتنا ونسائنا one of our beloved sisters. تفضلي. MashaAllah, أحسنتي. May Allah bless you. Barakallahu feeki. May Allah bless you. الثانية, our second sister, تفضلي. MashaAllah, أحسنتي. طيب, ما معنى لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم? What does it mean? It's not allowed the blood of a Muslim individual.
To kill them.
Accent. لا يحل قتله. It's not allowed that this person, his life is taken. طيب, في هذا الحديث فضل الجماعة. In this hadith, it shows the virtues of being in congregation. النساء مثلا, our beloved women, mashallah ta'ala, يسافرنا إلى مسجد آخر. They travel to another masjid in the same city. وماذا هن يريدن أن يأكل طعاما من مطعم معين. And then they want to go to a certain restaurant to get food. Our beloved sheikhah is there, our beloved sisters there, mashallah. وكل واحدة منهن تريد أن تأكل من مطعم آخر. Each of our sisters want to go to another restaurant. The women, you're never going to agree on what restaurant to eat. Khadija wants to go to this one, Sophia wants to go to that one. طيب. So they divide themselves. هذا مكروه. That's hated to do in Islam. قال بعض العلماء حرام. Some scholars say haram. الأولى بقاء الجماعة. It's more honorable that they stay together. They stay together. And يأكلنا سواء في نفس المطعم. That they don't separate, but rather they eat together in harmony together in the same restaurant. وكذلك الرجال. Likewise the men. سافرنا ونجلس. وعمر يجلس في الزاوية ومحمد في الثانية وماسي في الثالثة. هذا مكروه. الأولى أن يجتمعوا في مكان واحد. So we're traveling. We go to New York to the bookstore. One of my favorite bookstores was closed down. It's called the House of Knowledge. One of the best bookstores in America. لكن من ما حصل في اليمن بين اليمن وأمريكا كسر هذا البيت. الله أعلم. Then something happened between America and Yemen some years ago. So they stopped getting Yemeni books. One of the few bookstores that you can get Yemeni books, African books, not just from the kingdom, mashallah. Something happened, they closed the mektaba down. So we go into the bookstore in New York, we stop and eat food. We go to the masjid, Omar sits there, Muhammad sits in the second corner, our beloved brother Omar sits in the third, Masi comes here. They divide themselves. That's hated to do. It's better that you stay in unison. You stay together. You stay together. فهنا المفارق الجماعة, the one who separates from the جماعة. معنى الجماعة, first benefit. What's the meaning of الجماعة? معنى الجماعة. تفضل شيخ.
Is it more honorable to eat together? Say a brother invites us over to his house.
No.
Is it better to eat together in one big bowl?
أحسنت. Hey, هذا الأولى وهذا يوافق السنة. That's better, no doubt about it. لا يرى اليوم إلا في رمضان وإلا في العائلة مثلا في البيت مثلا. لكن هذا لا يرى كثيرا إلا من رحمه الله تعالى. You're not going to see that a lot, except in Ramadan. Unless you're in someone's house, your family, we eat together as family, mashallah. Come. In Ramadan we do that. I don't know, we didn't do that last Ramadan I was here. Some people eat together. But most of us, كل شخص له طبقة. Every person had their own plate. Last time in Ramadan. I don't know how is it with the sister, ya ikhwan? Do they eat on the sunnah? Or Sihab is here, Khadija is there, Amatullah is there, Zainab is there. Everyone has their own plate. I don't know how they sit there, ya ikhwan. That's allowed. لكن يخالف السنة. That's allowed. I got my plate. Don't come on my side, ya akhi. This is for me. That Muhammad has his plate, the man has his, that's allowed. But that's not from the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah.
What if more food gets wasted when we eat together?
Okay.
Like,
You think the opposite.
no,
Huh?
Nobody touched the middle.
Sometimes, I think min haya'una or haya'ina. Maybe our shyness also. Also min mada isa'ati adabina. Also, we don't have the good manners when we eat it. مثلا, Luqman is with us. Luqman is small. So he's eating, mashallah, with his hands. And the sunnah. It's a sunnah to eat with your hands. But maybe he's young, he doesn't know that at the end, you eat all the food on your hands. Right? It's a sunnah that you clean your plate. It's a sunnah. Don't waste the food. Someone says, hey, I'm not licking the plate there, akhi. I'm not licking the plate. No problem. That's the sunnah of our Prophet. Right? So now, our beloved brother Luqman, he doesn't know, he's young. This comes at the end. Right? So every spoonful he eats, then he licks up the plate. Nobody's going to want to eat that food now. Umar says, hey, shabirtu, alhamdulillah, I'm full. Shukran, ya akhi. So sometimes we have to learn the manners of eating together also. But it is a sunnah, ya ikhwan, to eat together. You're not going to see it now. Except if these people are really on the sunnah and they have love for each other. They have love. Sometimes our different cultures, our different skin colors. This man is a white man. I'm racist. When I billah, he touched their food with his little white hand. Khalas, I'm not eating that food. Or this man is a white, and then a black man comes. I'm white. I'm racist. When I billah, he comes with his little black hand. No, khalas. Many of us have these diseases in form. We may not say them, but many of us have them. Sometimes we double dip. But come on, ya akhi. So it's not obligatory to use your hands. It's a sunnah, ya ikhwan. And it's not for every food. That's another thing. Certain foods, the Prophet used utensils. And some foods he uses his hands. Most of the time he uses his hands. Some of the people in their houses, they don't eat with their hands. As soon as they get around the Muslims, a sunnah, mashallah, sunnah, ya akhi. Alhamdulillah. Ain't a sunnah for bake. Where's the sunnah in your house? Do the sunnah, yes. But also in your home.
It's a sunnah to eat with these 3 hands.
Your 3 fingers. But that's not every type of food. Some type of foods, you can't use your 3 fingers. Some of the brothers, ignorance also. We believe you can't touch the food with your other hand. The man has the shawarma Arabi, the nice sandwich. You can't eat that with one hand. You have to be a big brother. The sandwich is as big as this. He's going to take one hand, sunnah, sunnah. And he's trying the food is falling over. No, you can hold the food with your 2 hands. The sister has her drink. And says, oh, the cup is, and she has sunnah. And she can't hold the cup. It's so big. You can put 2 hands on the cup and drink. You can't hold it with your left hand only. But you're allowed to hold the drink with 2 hands. To hold the food with 2 hands. Sometimes the women, they're on their Facebook, their Instagram. So they can't hold the food and take a picture of the... Not like that, ikhwan. So we have to learn many times the manners of eating also. Somebody's going to say, what about COVID? What about sicknesses? He just coughed. If you're afraid, that's different. Why are you not eating with the brothers? I'm afraid. Omar just coughed. COVID. أعوذ بالله. طيب. إذا أنت تخاف من هذا لا بأس. ليس مشكلة. إذا تكون صادقا. If you're truthful and you're afraid, no problem. Islam doesn't say, no, you have to come eat with us. No, she's afraid. No problem. So he stays away for that reason. No problem. But if you're not afraid for that, why not come together?
What if you know he's in a chas or something?
Huh?
What if you know he's in a chas and he's dirty and he doesn't wash his hands at all?
That happens. The man say, hey, but I saw him, he didn't wash his hands. He was playing shooting hoops. And you're going to come out, hey, sunnah, no. The sunnah is that you cleanse your hands also. A lot of times are ignorant. Some of the chapters we skip, the Abwab al-Adab, the chapters of manners. For some reason we skip those chapters. We skip those chapters. And I hope I saw you. Kalimatul Jama'ah. The meaning of the word Jama'ah. Write this down, ya ikhwan. U'tikum ma'nayan. U'tikum ma'nayan. We're going to give you 2 meanings of Jama'ah. The first meaning, مجموعة من الناس. مجموعة من الناس. First definition, مجموعة من الناس, a group of people. A group of people. مجموعة من الناس, a group of people. والثاني, second meaning, ما وافق الحق. ما وافق الحق ولو كان وحدك. ما وافق الحق ولو كان وحدك أو ولو كان وحده. Second meaning, what agrees with the truth. ما وافق الحق, what agrees with the truth. ولو كان وحده, even if the person is alone. Our beloved sisters, مثلا إحداهن على الكتاب والسنة وحدها هي الجماعة. One of our sisters alone. She's the only one back there on the Quran and Sunnah, all by herself. She's the جماعة. هذا الولد الوحيد وحده هو. Luqman is the only one على الكتاب والسنة. No one else. نسميه جماعة. We will say he is the جماعة. The first meaning, مجموعة من الناس, a group of people. No matter what they're upon, just a group of people. Second meaning, ما وافق الحق ولو كان وحده, whatever agrees with the truth. وهذا تفسير ابن عباس, and that's the tafsir of Ibn Abbas. كما قال البخاري, as Bukhari mentions. طيب, ما عكس المسلم? Benefit number 3. What's the opposite of a Muslim? Look, man.
The opposite of Muslim is a kafir.
كافر. جميل. هل كل كافر طيب هل يكون شخص مسلما وكافرا في نفس الوقت? Trick question. Let's see who's the Bukhari of our group. And Khadija. Not Khadija. The Aisha, Salama of our group from the sisters. Can a person be a Muslim and a non-Muslim at the same time? Don't rush. Can a person be a Musliman wa kafiran fi nafs al-waqt? Who can explain? Can someone be a Muslim and at the same time a non-Muslim or disbeliever? No. Can't be. Mario, agree? Depends. Give me an example. A Muslim and at the same time you're a Muslim, you disbelieve in Allah. Muslim by name, hypocrite. No, that's a good example. A hypocrite.
No.
Muhammad, Umar.
You could be doing kufr, like a kufr action,
Huh? But not be?
but still be Muslim.
Accent. He could be Muslim, but says a statement of kufr, but it doesn't take him outside of Islam.
That doesn't make you a kafir though, right?
Not a kafir.
You're still a Muslim.
Still Muslim. That's my question.
Like, so you're gonna be a disbeliever.
It's a true question.
You're Muslim from one angle, a disbeliever from another angle. Still a disbeliever. Two types of kufr. One is a kafir. They both are disbelievers. But one, he's a disbeliever by speech or by action. But he's still a Muslim. So Muhammad is saying, well, he's not really a kafir. He is, but he isn't. He's a Muslim from one angle, a disbeliever from another angle. Someone goes to the people who read your hands, the soothsayers. الدخول عليهم كفر. To go to them, hey, trying to get married, read my hands. Somalia, Kenya, Afghani, Pakistani. Oh, make sure we miss the people in Khwan. Kurdish?
Kurdish, yeah.
I never saw a Kurdish woman. They have women. I never see yours. What they look like? Allah. A Kurdish woman. Hey, help me up. Bismillah. What am I going to get? Somalia? Kenya? Sudan? Kurdish? And then she reads your hands. Coming there is disbelief. But doesn't take you outside of Islam. She says, hey, you're going to marry a Kenyan. Oh, shukran. Believing that takes you outside of Islam. Two different actions. الدخول عليها شيء والإيمان بقولها شيء آخر. Coming to that girl, it's always a girl. You never see no suits or men. It's always a woman. I don't know yet, with a whole lot of bells and whistles, for example. You go there, going there is one action. Believing in her speech is another action. And that one is more severe. To go there and I don't believe you. No way, I'm not going to marry nobody from Kenya. No, I don't believe that. That's one thing. Going there is something. Believing in their speech is something else. I mean, Allah bless you all. What's another example of kufr? Doing a kufr. Not making the salah. وَتَارِكُ الصَّلَاةِ الْعُلَمَاء يَخْتَلِفُونَ فِي قَوْلَيْنِ. The one who leaves off the prayer, the scholars differ into two opinions. الأول وهم قليلون الذي يترك الصلاة لا يزال مسلما إذا يؤمن بأن الصلاة واجبة. First opinion, the sister doesn't pray no more. The first opinion is, as long as she believes that the prayer is obligatory, she's still a Muslim. That's the smaller amount of scholars. The second opinion, كافرة بتركها الصلاة. The second opinion is she is no longer Muslim because she left off the salah. وهذا الراجح والله أعلم. And that's the strongest opinion, and Allah knows best. ويوجد من السلف ومن من الخلف يقولون بقول الأول. But there are some scholars from the Salaf and from the scholars of today that they say this one is still a Muslim. As long as they believe I should be praying, I'm obliged to pray. منهم الشافعي ومنهم الألباني رحمهم الله تعالى. From the Salaf who had that opinion, الشافعي. From the scholars of today, Sheikh Al-Albani. Look man, تفضل. Huh?
Can you repeat number
First
two?
opinion, the one who leaves off the salah is still a Muslim.
Yeah, I know. Can you read, like, I'm at number 2 of what is a jama'ah?
May Allah bless you. The man takes good notes here, Khwan. There's 3 of them, mashallah. What's the little boy who sits here?
I think
From Afghan, I believe.
he's Amir's cousin?
Amen.
Amin.
No, Amen sits here. No, not Amir, Amir sits there. The one who sits right here back next to me, Khwan. Muhammad, I believe.
Yes.
Muhammad.
Ayab?
Naya, I think. Takes good notes, mashallah. He writes down everything. Even when I make a joke, he writes down the joke. I said, no, you don't have to write that. He takes good notes, mashallah. Look, man, also, they take good notes. Alhamdulillah. I love the brothers too, but the children, I love the children. When they're good, oh, my favorite days. When they're bad, I like you guys more. The second group is better than Luqman's group. The first group is bad. I don't know. Luqman's group is bad. The second group is awesome. May Allah reward them. طيب. Jama'a Luqman, second meaning. Whatever agrees with the truth. I want you to memorize that for homework. I want you to write those meanings 10 times. Jama'a, first meaning, a group of people. Second meaning, what agrees with the truth, even if you're alone. Whoever agrees with the truth, even if you're alone.
So Jama'ah doesn't mean 2 or more.
That's the first meaning. A group of people. يختلف العلماء في العدد. The scholars differ on the amount of number. True. Some scholars say 2, some say 3. They differ. There's no proof for that. They differ. Right. The first position, a number of people. That's it. Could be 2, could be 3, could be 10. Second position has nothing to do about number. It's about what do they believe in. If they believe in the truth, they are the jama'ah. Ibrahim was a jama'ah. Every prophet and messenger was a jama'ah. The ulama of Islam who are upon the Quran and Sunnah are jama'ah. The Muslims who are upon the Quran and Sunnah are jama'ah wahdahum, by themselves. Right?
Could the first definition be the linguistic definition, and the other one is salaha?
You could say that. May Allah bless you. The first one could be linguistic. Jama'ah means any group of people. The second could be istilahan, Islamiyan, religious terminology. That's a good way to break it down. May Allah bless you. طيب الثيب الزاني. What is the thayyib? The person that's married Been married before? Is it add something?
Falls into sin.
Huh?
Falls into sin.
Elaborate. Tayyib, you just write this down. We have a bikr and we have a tayyib. We have the one that was never, not that she wasn't married, but she never had relations. That's the bikr. A woman can get married and never have relations. What would she be called?
Muhsin.
Yeah, virgin. She's still a bikr. So, getting married is one part. Right? Can you divorce a woman without having relations? Some people, they believe النكاح ليس نكاحا حتى بعد الجماع وهذا ليس بالصحيح. That's a misconception. We should have mentioned that at the college. We had to talk at the college, ya ikhwan, about marriage. And nobody wanted to get married. Who chose that topic? All them sisters, mashallah, all them brothers. We say, hey, who chose this topic? Nobody raised their hand. So what are we talking about this here? And then you say, hey, who wants to get married? 2 brothers. Hey, sign me up. 3 little girls. Say, then why are we talking about this here? Let's talk about something else. When y'all want to get married, let's talk about marriage. No problem. We bring Omar. I'm like, oh, no, I want to get married. No, not me. I think the brothers are scared of marriage. Man, I'm going to say, well. Right? Only Myra. Who else? Check them out. The event.
Did a lot of people show up for the event?
Huh?
Did a lot of people show up for the event?
It was nice. I didn't think there was that many Muslims in that college. And he said that was only half of them. There was a lot of Muslims there, mashallah.
They were in Khamis.
There were a few brothers that had thobe, alhamdulillah. We saw one brother had a scarf on, mashallah. 1. Maybe 2. Myra had a scarf on. From the students though. Maybe 1 brother. From the sisters, mashallah. The women are a little, man, I hope it's all ikhwan. We saw one sister had a niqab as a student. Mashallah. Man, I reward that sister. Other girls had jilbab, mashallah. Some had on what they had on. It's America, man, I hope it's all ikhwan. It's hard to be religious in America. You have to really fear Allah. How many of us go outside? As soon as we go outside, hey! Take his kimar off, take his stove off. He comes to the masjid, mashallah, assalamu alaikum ya akhi, alhamdulillah. Many of that are fear. Many of us are fear. In the Walmart we go there, those young brothers, he say, hey, I say salam loudly on purpose. Don't whisper my salams, ya akhi. Give me my salams back. Say salam alaikum, hey, salam alaikum. He say, hey, ya akhi, alaikum salam. I'm at work. He said, alhamdulillah. What are we so shy for? Man, I was like, someone got an hand for me. Any question? Let's continue, ikhwan. So can a woman...
Well, I think the issue with marriage is, I think it's a shubha. It's an ambiguous matter. I think maybe perhaps the way we cover marriage has allowed people to, not to be here and there. It's maybe they're between 2 places.
No.
They like the idea. Theoretically, they like the idea of marriage, but practically it scares them.
No,
Maybe we need some actual practical, process.
That's a good idea, ikhwan.
I think that's what it is.
No. Maybe we need like some back in the day, and when I was in school, we had like the show and tell. You take the bunny home like it's your bunny for a week. Maybe do some show and tell marriage. You bring Omar, you're married for 10 days, okay? You go pregnant. Never. So now he's ready. The muta is not allowed there. At any rate, it's a nice topic. You see many scholars online. Everybody's talking about marriage. What about the Quran, Hadith, and the likes, Aqidah, Fiqh? But it's tremendous to talk about it, ikhwan. Let's educate ourselves about it. But if we're not really at that level, we can be talking about other things. Also, alhamdulillah, we advise those students to get married. The one brother asked a good question. What if I'm poor, I'm homeless, I'm a student, how can I get married? So you can still get married for Allah ability. You talk to someone's parents. If they agree to marry you to their daughter, while you guys are in college. Those Muslims are strong. I don't know, yeah, Ikhwan, in America. What's the most sin that goes on in the university today? Zina. Gambling, drugs. Zina's at the list. At the pinnacle of the list.
I remember we married off a young couple years back, and they were both in college, so they stayed at the dorm. Paid some time until they could get on their feet.
No.
So it's not.
It can be done, yeah, Ikhwan.
It's not impossible.
Yeah. And we help each other out. You have a new couple, he's working at Walmart. She works at Walmart. So they may be struggling. So the community, the family, the brothers, the sisters, we will come and help. We're Muslims. That's better than falling into sin and the likes. Someone wants to come marry my daughter, he's poor. How are you going to provide for her? You say, okay, well, get a job first, find somewhere to live. But they're in the college where most sin is going to be there. We say, for Allah, if you guys can be patient, now it's halal when you talk on the phone. Now it's halal. You don't have to go to these dating apps and the likes. Now it's halal. Even if you can't be together physically, but now you have someone to talk. Most marriages is not about money. It's not about the prettiness or the beauty. It's about companionship. I remember we used to teach at the prison, and we have brothers, mashallah, been locked for years. One brother say, hey, can you help me find a wife? Just somebody so I can write letters to. You cry, Ikhwan. All he wants is somebody. People get their letters every day. وأنا أتمنى أن تصل إلي الرسالة. أنا أنتظر سماع اسمي. He says, I just want a woman. Forget what she looks like. Forget all of that. I just want someone that I can write a letter to. How are you, baby? How is your day? He said, I listen for my name to be called every day. In the prison, when they call, hey, Muhammad, Mama, Ali, letter. He said, I just want one day for my name to be called. Just imagine. All he wants is someone that he can say, hey, wifey, how's everything? You made your salah. You're going over your Ali Imran today. MashaAllah. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's about companionship. Nobody wants to live this dunya ikhwan by themselves. Have someone, a companion. Helps out tremendously. حتى الحيوانات, even the animals. Allah Ta'ala created them in pairs. Even the animals. How much more so the man or the woman? Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. Alright, let's continue, ya ikhwan. So what's the meaning of jama'ah?
A group of people or whoever agrees with the truth.
MashaAllah. Who said that last one? Ibn Abbas. May Allah bless you. Someone says, Muhammad, you can read that question?
Yeah. I was wondering, Chef, if a woman is divorced and she goes through her menstrual period within the span of 2 months, is divorced, or does she have to wait 1 more month to complete it to make it 3?
على حسب إذا عندها ماذا قرر في كل هذا 3 في شهر واحد انتهى عدتها. If a woman, her cycles, in 1 month she has all 3 cycles in 1 month, then her iddah is over. It's not about how long it took the cycles to come. على العدد, it's based upon the 3. If she has 2 cycles in the question in 1 month, yes, she has 1 cycle left. Some women, if the woman has a cycle every year, 1 cycle, when is her iddah over?
3 years.
3 years. Now every woman is the same. You can't just say, hey, I want to get rid of this lady. Let's count the days. No, that's her cycle. You have to be patient. Some women have irregular cycles. She may have a cycle. There was a lady years ago. She had a cycle every few years. That was her normal cycle. So how do you calculate? You still calculate by the cycles. It's just an irregular cycle. You only calculate the days fi adami al-qar if the woman does not have a cycle. Maybe she's older or she's sick or the likes. Now you calculate the days. If she has an irregular cycle, the origin is you still count the cycles. You only not count the cycles if she doesn't have a cycle.
So what's the ruling on her iddah period here?
Same one?
Does she still have to wait?
She has one more cycle to go. She says how many? 2 in 1 month. So once she gets 3, if they come in the same month, khalas.
She said like she finished in 2 months.
She finishes in 2 months.
I mean, as in, she goes through her menstrual period in the span of 2 months.
In 2 months she's done all 3.
Yeah, or only one.
Al-Muhim, the sister, you count your cycles. Not how long it takes you to get those 3 cycles. No. When you get 3 cycles, no matter if it's in the same month, if it takes 2 months and you had 3 cycles in 2 months, your iddah is over. So you're going to count the cycle, not how long it takes you. The woman is divorced today. Tomorrow, she has a cycle. That's 1. That's 1 cycle. Next week, she becomes pure. The next week, she has another cycle. That's 2. In the same month. Some women are different. She has 3 cycles in 1 month. She's divorced. If the man does not take her back by the ending of that cycle, then they're divorced. If he takes her back the last day before her cycle is over, they're still married. Our sister, tafadali.
What if she's in menopause? Then how long do you wait?
If she's in menopause, على حسب. ليس كل مرأة في menopause ما عنده ماذا الحيض. Not every woman in menopause doesn't have a cycle. In the beginning stages of menopause, the cycle is drying up, if I can say that. It's ending little by little. So now she's in full-blown menopause. She has no cycle. Now you're going to calculate the days. 30 يوما لقيء أو لقرء واحد. You're going to calculate 30 days for each cycle. So she doesn't have a cycle. Now you calculate the days. This is when you calculate the days. If she has a hayd, she has her cycle, you can't calculate days. The origin is you count the period, you count the cycle. No matter how long it takes. Some women naturally, they bleed differently. Not every woman bleeds the same. The average woman bleeds once a month for 7 to 12 days. هذا عموما, that's general. Some women bleed 20 days. And not every blood is the same. The woman has 2 different types of blood, or 3. Al-istihada wal-hayd wal-nufas. They have the period blood, what's called istihada, that continuous blood, that is not the period blood. It's not as strong in smell, it's not as thick in density, and it doesn't come with a lot of pain. Here, this woman prays. She تتوضأ لكل صلاة. This woman, upon her istihada, she will make wudu every salah. Every salah, she makes wudu. That's another proof that some scholars argue to say that blood is najis. The scholars differ. The strongest opinion is that blood is najis. Scum salascape, blood is not najis. Our sister again, tafadali.
How about when the husband dies, and how long does the wife have to get married?
When the husband dies, she becomes a widower. Omar used to say, I believe 4 months and a certain amount of days. According to Umar. For the widow. Would verify that, Ikhwan.
That was
And when the man, you realize the man has passed away, the woman, her cycle is 4 months and a certain amount of days. Allah, I forget at this moment. The widower. Somebody verify that.
Yeah, 4 months and 10 days.
4 months and 10 days.
والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر و10 إذا بلغن أجلهن فلا جناح عليكم فيما فعلن في أنفسهن بالمعروف والله بما تعملون خبير.
What happens if you think the man is dead? And then a year later, hey, Salaam alaikum. We thought he died. And that's why the iddah is so important. Some women don't honor the iddah. You divorce them, tomorrow they marry. That's between them and Allah.
For 4 years.
So 4 years now, you think he's dead. First you have to ascertain is he alive or not. You just can't say, hey, I called him, I emailed him, he didn't. I Instagrammed him. Assalamu alaikum ya akhi. I'm gonna give him 10 days. Man, I hope I said this is religion. So first you have to make sure he's alive. You don't know. Some scholars say you can't start assuming he's dead like that. You have to have some proof. Then, once it's proven that the person passed away, now she starts her iddah for the widower. So you thought he was dead. 4 months and 10 days go by. We marry her off to brother Sulaiman. New marriage is going good. Alhamdulillah. 6 months later, guess who's alive? He comes, hey, where's my, he goes back to the house. My key's not working. He changed the locks. His car is done. His cat is done, his dog, whatever, the bird, new house. So what do? Who has more right to that woman?
The original one.
The original husband. So now, what about the original husband? They started the iddah, but he wasn't dead. He was alive. So now, he has right to say, I love the girl, ya akhi, I want to stay with her. So now, she's the wife of the first person. Suppose she doesn't want to be the wife of the first person. She likes the new brother. He has a BMW, his motorcycle is faster. MashaAllah. The first brother didn't have that. His BMW was old. I thought she was dead. I'm not dead, I'm alive. طيب. She wants to stay with the new husband. Who has more right?
The new one?
The older husband. Because technically, he's still the husband.
So do they have to remarry?
So they don't have to remarry. They was never divorced. That marriage is automatically invalidated. Suppose the new husband really loves her. Oh, poor new husband. Miskeen hada. He's miskeen. He didn't do nothing wrong. But this other brother has more right. Suppose he doesn't want to remain. He says, hey, no problem. I see you have a new husband now. No problem. So now, he remains with that person here. So that divorce here, now they would part ways. She take a new iddah, 3 cycles, and then a new contract to this new couple. No. So all this shows the completion of our religion. For those non-Muslims, I'm amazed at them. ويتكلموا عن هذا الدين لا هذا دين عظيم ويتكلموا عن كل شيء. This religion is tremendous. It talks about everything. Whatever you mention, there's not nothing unturned except Allah and His Messenger. Al-Islam talks about it. So this shows sometimes, especially when someone dies, make sure you're the new husband coming on. The sister was a widower. Sometimes you want to see some receipts, not receipts, some tawthiqah, some documentation. Let me make sure before I give you my heart. And then guess who's knocking at the door? Assalamu alaikum. The new husband or the old husband. That's his right. He was never divorced. He wasn't there. May Allah make it easy.
Husband disappears on his wife. He disappears on the wife. She waits. Then she seeks khulur or to be divorced from this husband, but she can't pinpoint him at all. What's the proper procedure?
Now that's the hardest here, Juan. Someone is missing. المرأة تبحث عن زوجها ولا تجده في أنحاء العالم. The woman is looking for her husband. He's just missing. You just can't say all of a sudden he's dead. No, we have to try to find him.
But she wants it.
She wants a khulur. She wants out. But we still have to ascertain, number one, is the man alive? That's number one. He could be, there were some people overseas, what's that country, Ikhwan, close to Afghan. They came to America. Them Kurds, I think they call Kurds? Tajikistan. Where they got caught up in a war that wasn't their war. Some of them was just trying to flee and some other country captured them up, for example. And some of them were in America. They were in down south. They all throughout the newspaper when Obama was in office. I forget what country they were from, Ikhwan. They did a trial, Kurdish, and they let them out. At any rate, many of them were innocent. But their families didn't know where they were. Now they're in America. They can't write, they can't contact. Years later, they contact their families. You can imagine, thinking you don't know where your relative is. 6, 7 years later, he's alive. So the woman, you have to first make sure he's alive. He's safe. The hard thing is going to be if she's seeking for a khulur. If you can't find the man, that's the hard part. To ascertain, is he alive, firstly. So I would say to this family, try to be as patient as you can first and foremost. Let's make sure the brother's alive. That's first. I know you don't want to be there, sister, but let's first make sure he's still our brother. We have to make sure he's safe. Now you can't find him. You can assume that he's dead, you can assume that, but you don't know bidabt. You have no proof. You're just going on your dhann, what you perceive. If he comes back later on, he's alive, he has right, that's still his wife. So you can say, okay, take a khul'. Let's look at the brother to be passed away. She has 4 months and 10 days. That period cycle ends. Still no word from the brother. Then we can perceive that he has passed away. But that's only dhannan. You don't have no proof that he's really passed away. They're the hardest situations to ascertain.
How can you grant khulu'? The husband has to grant the khulu'.
He does, but there's some situations where the judge can override. The hard part, sometimes in America, يا إخوان, ما عندنا قضاء, ما عندنا محكمة إسلامية. We don't have Islamic judges. In Kansas City, for example, we don't have nowhere we can go. There's some marital issues. We don't have an Islamic judge. In America, we don't have an Islamic courthouse. All we have is the masajid. All we have is the circles of knowledge, contacting the scholars. That's all we can do. Maybe in the future, the Muslims can come together one day and have judges. The scholars say, this madhab says, we don't have a judge. So yes, originally, the man has to grant the khul' unless the woman has Islamic reason, the man is not granting it, and then a judge stands in front of them. He's missing here. So this whole situation is hard. So it's going to go outside the origin. The origin is that the woman returns back her dowry. We gave her some jewelry, $5,000 of gold. She says, I don't want to be married to you no more. Here's the gold. Right. The man takes back the gold. She takes 1 cycle. That's the khul'. Some scholars say it's recommended to take 3 cycles. Qiyasan from the talaq. But what's obligatory is haydatan wahidatan, 1 cycle. Now, after that 1 cycle, she becomes pure. They can remarry or she can marry someone else. That's the origin. The woman wants a khul'. The man wants to hold on to his marriage. Now an Islamic judge comes. Many scholars say the way we do it today is wrong. In America, the woman asks for the khul'. I don't want to be married to you no more. Here's your raggedy gold you gave me. Everything is raggedy when they're mad. Here's your raggedy gold. I don't like that gold anyway. I barely wore it. You got it from Walmart. I don't even know if it's real gold. Matter of fact, at any rate, the man takes it. They divorce. The sunnah is that the woman goes to the judge. What's the proof? Those scholars that say that. Ahd al-Nabi, what happened in the time of the Prophet. هذه المرأة أرادت خلع فذهبت إلى النبي. This woman wanted the khul'. Hadith is collected by Bukhari and Abi Dawud and other goals. Not like we do today. The woman says, hey, I don't want to be married to you no more. Okay, give me back my Walmart gold. Take 1 cycle. Salaam alaikum. That's how it happens today. I mean, Allah make it easier.
Would that still be valid?
It will be valid. Many scholars say it's valid. Many scholars say it's not valid. The hard part is going to be, ikhwan, when one scholar says A, another scholar says A. Nowadays, you have an issue. You go to the masjid. The imam of the masjid say you are divorced. The imam says, the brother says, who are you? You don't have the right to give me a divorce. You're just an imam of a masjid. He's right. So the imam, the brother doesn't honor that. The woman does. So the woman we're divorced. To the man we're married. What do? You're going to have some issue. A lot of times, ikhwan, when the scholars differ, the man divorces his wife. How can he take her out of the iddah? How does he take her out? There are many positions of the ulama. Many was one of them. The man says to his wife, Anti mutallaqa, you're divorced. That's 1 divorce. Like, then 2 days later, oh, anashtaqu ilayki, baby, I miss you. Like Imam Ayyub read the hadith earlier. She has on her nice house garment. She's walking past. Close your ears, man. She's looking like a lady. Her hair is mashallah. She has on her nice makeup. She's being girly. He says, hey, mashallah, I'll take you back. طيب, what's one of the ways, take your ears away, what's one of the ways he can take her back? Intention. Another way? He says it, speech. Another way? Has relations with her. 3. Another way? Touching her. Any touch. A touch of intimacy. Some scholars say that. Some scholars say they sat alone together. You divorced the girl, she's sitting beside you. Abu Hanifa, he mentions, they have the khul' or khulwa. They're alone. They're in the house watching an Islamic movie. The Message. You okay? I'm fine. You having a good time? Shukran. Some scholars say, hey, now they're married. She's out the iddah. Just because they sat alone. Right, there are many positions. What's my point of saying all of this? Sometimes the scholars differ. Right, what do? How do you resolve? Whichever position is closest to the truth. Those that say you have to say it, there's no proof of that. This is going to shock most of you. Those that say, close your ears one more time, look man, if the man has relations with the woman, some scholars say she's no longer in the waiting period. There's no proof for that.
Would that be zina then?
No, she's still a wife. She's in the waiting period.
Okay.
Still a wife. Right? You divorce, you can take them down. You divorce the wife. You have 3 cycles, the question earlier, for the divorce to be over. To be over. Until it's over, she's still your wife. She goes outside, she gets your permission. You still spend, you still give food, you still give drink, you still give clothing, still your wife. So you can have relations with her. No violation. She's still your wife. Right? Some scholars say if you touch her, she's no longer in the waiting period. Many scholars say that. But there's no proof of that. Those that say if you sit alone, there's no proof of that. Those that say if you say it, there's no proof of that. There's only one with a proof. The statement of Ash-Shafi'i and many of the companions. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ Hadith Umar. That all actions are based upon intentions. If the man divorces his wife, she's right here watching the Message. They're on YouTube watching the Message. Taking their notes Islamically. Oh, that hadith is authentic. MashaAllah, I never knew that. طيب. He touches her hand. He intends in his heart, you are no longer in the waiting period. Now, she's no longer in the waiting period. The proof is the statement of the Prophet of Allah, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ Our actions are based upon intentions. The man says to his wife, you married brothers, be careful when you get mad. To remind it to myself firstly. When you get mad, your mind blacks out. The man said, hey, go back home. Go back to Abby. Go back to Ummi. That could be a divorce. That could be one divorce. What's the proof? Our actions are based upon intentions. The woman says, I can't do this no more. I'm out of here. Enough is enough. She grabs her bags. I don't want to do this no more. That could be a khulr. What's my proof? Actions are based upon intentions. So you have to be very careful what you say, ikhwan. It could be a divorce. The man says, hey, I don't want this no more. It could be a divorce. Depends on his heart. Another benefit. Many scholars say if the woman is asking for khulr, it's a sunnah to give it to her. Even though you want to fight, hey, I want to hold on to my marriage. MashaAllah, I love her. We got the kids, 25 years. If she's asking for divorce, many scholars say it's better to give it to her. They use the fact that the Messenger of Allah granted the woman the khulr. From them, Sheikh Udaymin, Sheikh Fawzan. The scholars do. So you brothers, inshallah, hopefully will become judges. The sisters become judges. Reach that level, she can get fatwa. This is why we seek knowledge. Not to blind follow. To be equipped Islamically. When the people come to you, you can give fatwa. This is the goal of a student of knowledge. To be mujtahidan. To be able to look at the Quran and Sunnah and deduce. And give religious warnings. And religious fatwa, for example. Not a blind follower. If we're going to blind follow, why are we seeking knowledge? What's the benefit of seeking knowledge if we're just going to blind follow? No. So you want to be a mujtahid. You want to be able to look at the Quran and Sunnah and deduce. This ayah says, this hadith says. You can pull from this ayah, this ruling. And this is the goal of seeking knowledge. You can see that last question, Muhammad? Isn't it true? What?
That one's on Facebook. Like what?
Isn't it true? Is it true that the husband, if he leaves the house for 90 days, that that's a divorce automatically? The answer is no. The abandonment divorce is one of the hardest ones to prove. To prove the tark, the abandonment. Many of the women, when they get mad and they call your phone and you take long to reply, you're abandoning me. The emotions. That's many women. You go to the gym after the class, hey, I'm abandoned. No, I just was at the gym. I didn't abandon. Abandoning is hard to prove. You have to prove this person, there's no contact. There's no way to get in contact. No one knows where he's at. He abandoned you. Or you have to make sure. That's when it's hard to prove. Ya ikhwan. And may Allah make it. Let's finish our definition of the thayyib. So the bikr huwa lati la taqa' fil jima'. The bikr, the virgin girl, is the one that has never had relations. And the thayyiba huwa alladhi waqa'a fil jima' qablu. The thayyib is the woman who was married previously and had relations. She had relations. If a woman had relations, she is a thayyiba. If she did not have relations, she is a bikr. Today we did one hadith, ya ikhwan. We'll stop there, inshallah ta'ala. Anyone has anything to...
definition exclusive to
The bikr is هي التي وقع أو هي التي وقعت في الجماع قبله. The bikr is the one that had relations before. وقعت في الجماع.
Is it like female or is it just like for female?
The bikr, a man and a woman,
Okay.
is the same.
Thayyib as well.
The bikr is the one that never had relations. And the thayyiba or the thayyib وقع في الجماع قبله. هذا للرجال والنساء. It's for the men and women. The man who was with a woman before, he is a thayyib. And the woman that has never had relations, she is a bikr.
Is it called muhsin also?
The muhsina, you can say that now. May Allah bless you, Shaykh Abdul Wahab. Father Shaykh Umar.
So the woman that's divorced, she's single at the moment, but she's a thayyib. If she commits zina, then she's to be killed.
In a Muslim country, under Muslim ruler, the answer will be yes. In the non-Muslim country or no-Muslim ruler, these hudud are from the Wali al-Amr, are from the leader of the Muslims. In a non-Muslim land, no. In a Muslim land, under Wali al-Amr, the Khalif al-Mu'mineen, the leader of the Muslims, yes. The one that was married before, even if they're single now, and they fall into legal relations, even if they're not married, fell into adultery. Many people think you had to be married at that time. That's a mistake. If you were ever married, ever, and you fall into that sin of illegal relations, then this one has fallen into adultery. And the zina is the one that was not married ever and fell into illegal relations. That's the zina. The one that was ever married and fell into that action, then that's the action of adultery. No. So the thayyib is going to be the one lam yaqa' fi al-jima' qablu. The thayyib, the virgin, the al-bikr huwa alladhi lam yaqa' fi al-jima' qablu. The bikr, the virgin, man and woman, is the one that was never married. Is the woman who was never married better than a woman? Trick question. That's a sta'jil, don't rush. Is the bikr afdal min a-thayyiba? Is the virgin girl better than the woman who was touched before? Depends on what? The taqwa. That's it. Many of the men we believe, no, I have to marry a woman who was never touched. And many of the brothers, no, I have to marry a woman that was touched. She's better. No. That's your personal preference, and that's allowed. But you can't say who's afdal illa bidali.
Isn't there a hadith where a man set out to marry a woman? The Prophet said, why did he marry like that?
Ahsan, Hadith Jabir. When Jabir wanted to get married, but Jabir had those young siblings. So the Prophet heard that Jabir got married. وهذا يدل على ما كان النبي يزوج كل شخص. This is another reminder that the Prophet did not marry off all of the Muslims at that time. Some of the Muslims think the Imam has to marry you off. It's not a condition. Anyone who knows how to do the marriage can do the marriage. Yes, someone of virtue of status, the Imam, the teacher, no problem. وهذا ليس بشرط. That's not a condition. Anyone who knows how to marry can perform the marriage. طيب. This shows that the Prophet didn't do it. What's the proof? سأله تزوجت يا جابر. The Prophet asked him, "Oh Jabir, did you get married?" This shows he didn't do it. قال نعم. Yes, I got married with Messenger of Allah. قال ثيبا أو بكرا. The Prophet asked him. It's allowed to ask. It's allowed to ask. You can't say it's frowned upon. The brother get married. Hey, where is she from? Sumat or Afghan? Where is she from? That's allowed. It's allowed. No, she's from Afghan. She's from Somalia. She's American. It's allowed. Sometimes we're so emotional, we get offended to everything. But there's some things culturally you don't have to do. The Somalians, Somaliyun, in English, Somalians? Is that correct? The Somalians, Somali, the plural. Somalis. The Somalis, in English. How I say the plural?
Somali.
I thought that was the singular.
It's both singular.
Ah, benefit. The Somali, they have a culture that if they make it known, the dowry, that's like the izzah. It's a sharaf, nobility. They announce, hey, you got married to the girl. Yeah, hey, the brother got married. He paid $4,000 US. Yes, hey. How you don't want you to say? Now the whole world knows what I gave my wife. Suppose it's private. It's more honorable that you ask, hey, Yahi, you mind if I mention to the world? No, I don't want you to mention that. That's private.
Well, the hikmah here is
private.
If they were to part ways, everyone is aware that, whether it's a khula or...
The point is known. The point is known. It's still more honorable that you get their permission. Some things are private. For example, if you're going to mention it, I have to ask you, hey, is it okay if I mention it to the world? He may say yes. He may say no. That's his right. So there's some things culturally are allowed to do. We're not saying that's haram. That's allowed to do. But it'll be more honorable. That's between them. You don't have to write out, hey, the brother gave her $10,000 of gold. How much silver? $200 of silver. How many books? You don't have to tell about the whole world that. You can. You don't have to. But I get the point. If they were to divorce, now she has to return all the money back. No problem. But it's not for all of us to know that. We can know it. But we don't have to know that. Some things can be intimate. Some things can be intimate. Also, the man has another wife. He's going to be in the doghouse. He has one wife that he gave lesser money to. He's jammed up right now. He gets another wife. Hey, now he paid $8,000 US. The first wife, she just waiting until he gets home. Waiting. She has her gun. She has her knife. She's MMA specialized. She's ready. As soon as he walk in the door, you gave 8,000. You only gave me 5. The women take that. I don't know what it is, ikhwan. They believe the more you pay, the more honorable the women. That's not from Islam. There's no proof for that. Many of the men, we have the same issue. نظن إذا أدفع أكثر فأنا أعلى. هذا ليس من الكتاب والسنة أبدا. The man thinks the more money I pay for the woman, the more honorable I am. It's not like that, ya ikhwan. But rather it's the opposite. Rather, it's opposite. I'm not telling the women, don't ask for high dowries. That's not our Islam. You want to ask for a high dowry? Ask for a high dowry. I'm saying it's better for you to ask for an easy dowry. Follow.
If a woman does khula, how would she repay her dowry? If it's like something materialistic, for example, her dowry was that her husband teaches her the Quran.
How can she return them back? In that regard, لا يمكنها أبدا أن ترد المهر إليه. In that example here, that's honorable. To get married for knowledge. You're not going to see that nowadays in Quran. Except that man and that woman. A lot of times it's not the man or the woman, it's the family. The father says, hey, he's from Britain. You better ask for 10,000. A lot of times, not the girl, it's not the bride, it's a family member. That may help us all, yeah.
Is it better for the dowry to be something tangible? Or, say, he says, I'll take you to Hajj or Umrah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
would that be better?
Never does. Never does.
No.
And then they're divorced. Or she asks for the.
No.
How can you fulfill this?
No, good question. So now, finishing there, first thing we get to Sheikh Liban's point here. So the woman asks for knowledge. How does she return it back? She can't. You can't return something like knowledge, something in the future. You can't return that back. At any rate, Liban's point here is why many scholars, they dislike getting a dowry that's connected to the future. You want to get married? Yes. What's your dowry? Take me on Umrah. Take me on Hajj. Take me to Hijrah. Take me back to Somal in 10 years. It's better not to ask for that. Why? Because the dowry al-asl هو إعطاء شيء من الزوج إلى الزوجة في ذلك الوقت في بداية النكاح. هذا الأصل. What is the dowry? The bridal gift, the wedding gift that is given from the husband, the spouse, to the groom, to the bride at the start of their marriage. This is the origin. If it's going to be delayed, I'm going to take you back home to say Ummi and Abby in 5 years. Then they argue. It never happens. So she never got her dowry. And that's not from the Sunnah. The Sunnah is that the woman tastaqbilu al-mahar fi bidayati al-nikah. She receives the bridal gift. She's giving you almost all of her. So Islam says it's only befitting you give her something. This woman is she's not your servant, but she's almost giving you her everything. If the man says, hey, stand in that corner, may Allah bless you, it's better for her to stand in that corner, may Allah bless her. The man says, hey, I want you to speak Arabic to me only. It's better for her to speak Arabic only. For example, the Messenger of Allah says, Huwa jannatuki aw naruki, aw kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet said to the woman who was married, the Prophet said, how are you with your husband? She said, I'm like this and like that. The Prophet said, remember, he's either your Jannah or your fire. However you treat him and he's pleased with you, you'll go to the Jannah. You believe in Allah and you die and your husband is pleased with you, straight to the Jannah. Or he's either your hellfire, how you treat him, how you disobey him, how you oppress him, how you harm him, you can go to the hellfire. At any rate, the woman is almost giving you her whole self. Islam says, so you give her something as a recompense for that. Since you give me almost all of you, almost, I give you whatever you wish to the best of my ability. Right? So it shouldn't be something of the future. It's allowed. You can't say that's haram. You can't say that's haram. But it's better that you give her something right now. For example, number one, this is her right. Number two, most of the times when the people give those future dowry, she never get it. They divorced before you even took her on Hajj. For example, before you made Umrah, before you made Hijrah, they already divorced. For example. So it's better that it is something tangible. Well, I can't say it's better that it's something tangible. However, because for example, so that's an exception. Some say that's, even Nawawi says that's the best dowry, the knowledge. That you have some knowledge, you teach her. But she has to be really religious to want to get that. If a woman asks for knowledge, I will still give her gold and silver and brass and paper and whatever else I can give her, ikhwan, to show your honor. The righteous woman is not really going to care about your dunya and the likes. Some of the women nowadays, you get married. I remember in Yemen, I was amazed. Why did a lot of the American Yemenis want to marry American women? Why? Number one, a green card. One by that, I don't care what she looks like. I don't care how tall. As long as she got an American passport, my answer is yes. Hey, that marriage will be false. That's not a marriage. Second reason, it's just something new. A new country. When we went to Yemen, everybody wanted to marry Yemeni. You ask them why, they can't tell you. Why you want to marry a Yemeni? Nobody had an answer. When you go to a new country, it's different. They look different. They're taller. Somali women are tall, mashallah. They're short. They're religious. The Yemeni women, mashallah, are religious, memorizers. It is little girls, little women. At any rate, it's something new. You go to Britain, hey, I like how they talk. And then you go to this country, mashallah, it's just something different. At any rate, the second reason, most of the women in the West, it's easier to get married. They're more religious. Most of the women. In Saudi, you're going to pay $20,000, $15,000. Pakistan, $12,000, $16,000. Kuwait, oh, you're not getting married in Kuwait yet. You're not getting married in Kuwait. You have to be a rich man. Rich. In America, it's different. The best of our women doesn't want your money. All she wants is for you to teach her Islam, worship Allah with her. She wants you to be righteous with her. She's going to say, most of our women in America, hey, give me $500. Give me $100. There was one sister in Philly, made the whole masjid cry. The girl comes, she wants to get married. The brother's there. The brother says, oh, mashallah, I don't got. She says, hey, bismillah, ya akhi. Inshallah, I'm on the sunnah, inshallah. How much money you got in your pocket? Everybody says, whoa. The whole masjid shuts down. The brother pulls out his wallet. I got $200, girl. She says, I accept. Took the $200 and gave it back to him in sadaqah. Where's these women at? Some of the women say, hey, give me Bukhari. You'll be my wife with Bukhari? Yes. Give me Bukhari. That's the religious girl. One of the sisters, hey, teach me what you know of the Quran. That's it? Yes. For example, that's the religious one. She doesn't care about your money. No, all she wants, is someone that's it's most of our women. Someone I can worship Allah with. Someone that can teach me Islam. Remind me of the sunnah of the Prophet. That's most of our women in the West. They're not as cultural. Some of them are cultural, yes. But the average woman on the sunnah in America, this sunnah, they got down. She's going to fight you. She's always going to be strapped. Yes. But this sunnah, she has down. Where's your dowry, sister? Whatever is the easiest. Some of them, you choose. MashaAllah. May Allah make us, may Allah allow our women to be like those women here. One last point and then we'll stop, inshallah. I think we commented on that one already. But we'll stop there. Today we did one hadith. If our sisters don't have anything to mention, or our brothers, we'll stop there. And may Allah bless you all. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi